Bitcoin flash crashes by 7% today after tariffs news announcement. Open interest makes new lows. Dominance still grinding up high as usual, with liquidations actually hitting $500 million today. Did Trump just ruin the bull market, or did the band-aid just get ripped off? Hey guys, it's me again, Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages, and let's get right into it. So first of all, when it comes to Bitcoin, we definitely did a massive pump and dump as expected from my arbitrary squiggle line. Obviously, it didn't match price-wise, but structurally, that's the whole plan was. So when it comes to today, we just had a massive pump that squeezed out the shorts, and then a massive dump that actually liquidated a lot of longs, as you can see here. So $268 million in longs and $230 million in shorts. Interestingly, we actually had more liquidations in longs. So just to show when it comes to that and like my reasoning why possibly that was the case, the reason why we had this massive pump to the resistance at 88.5k, which was actually our ascending triangle, which is a bearish structure. The resistance was hit mainly due to the fact was there was a lot of leaks going around for the tariffs, and the main leak was the tariff was only going to be a 10% universal tariff, which to be honest was like my expectation. I thought Trump would actually put down the tariffs at the time, but what actually ended up being the case was the worst absolute outcome for the tariffs. So obviously we had the reciprocal tariffs plus an additional 10% universal tariff, which was the absolute worst case scenario for what the tariffs were going to be. So as you can see, we had a massive pump, then a dump after the news became official. And when it comes to the like how it affects short term as well as the long term, in my opinion, it's just all noise when it comes to this news around the tariff. As I really think when it comes to longer time frames, especially the weekly RSI, nothing has changed. And just to show you guys my reasoning why, every time the weekly downtrend has been broken out, we've had a doubling in price. And currently our support for that weekly RSI structure, which was made when the bull market started for this cycle, it was around the 43 RSI level. So as long as we hold this level and we don't break down below, that would be the bear market, I guess, indicator for a bear market happening. But as it stands right now, I really believe in the next 1 to 2 weeks or so, direction will be confirmed. And most likely with the information and data I'll show you in this video, it will most likely to be to the upside. And along with that breaking out, we're probably going to see a doubling from the last lows, which was 77k. And a doubling from that will be around roughly the 150 to 155k levels. So I guess my personal opinion and recap on today's news event, it's all noise. And when it comes to April, I suspect the true direction for Bitcoin will be made in the next 1 to 2 weeks or so. So when it comes to information and data, I guess first point is it's interesting to see that Bitcoin actually didn't go down as much as the S&P 500. What I mean by that, percentage Bitcoin did go down more, but if it was like the prior months, let's say like the past 3 months or so, if it happened prior to the past, we would definitely have crashed a lot more. So I wouldn't be surprised if this tariff news event happened a few months ago. It would probably be another massive red candle like we had in the week of early March, which was a 16% red candle. The crypto market is getting more numb to news events that affect the stock market, and the crypto market isn't dumping as hard as the stock market. So Shonima is a really good analyst, and he's been trading this whole chop and sideways, and he closed these long at 87k, which was actually the major resistance level. Technically, the major resistance was the 88.4k as well as the 87.4k level. So when it comes to his opinion on what he thinks that's going to happen, he's looking for new longs, and he actually thinks that next week or the week after will be when we break the 90s. So it's sort of confluence with me as well, because I really believe with the upcoming catalysts. So when it comes to catalysts for the future of, I guess, crypto as well as stock market, I really think that the next catalyst to look forward to is countries actually pulling back their existing tariffs, which will also pull back the US reciprocal tariffs. So as you can already see here, South Korea is actually holding an emergency meeting today where they'll actually start looking at the tariff crisis and see what they can do. So I suspect there's going to be a lot of negotiations with all the European and Asian countries where they'll actually pull back their tariffs, and in return, the US will pull their tariffs as well. So it's looking quite good in that, where there's certainty in the markets now because the tariff is officially in place. And most likely, when it comes to future upside potential and what the raising of that upside is, most likely will be countries actually negotiating with Trump and pretty much deprecating the existing tariffs with the US economy. And in return, the US will turn down their tariffs. So I think the markets will definitely start pricing in once countries start deprecating their tariffs, which would most likely allow the stock market to have some sort of relief rally as well as the crypto market. Our next tweet is by Exit Pump. So this was actually prior to the Trump's tariffs announcement, but it's just something to note where there was a lot of spot buying from Coinbase, which is really good to see because it just shows that the perps, aka the open interest, is having a less of effect on what the price is doing. And to be honest, as you can see, like the open interest is drastically dropping by the week, and it's really good to see open interest dropping because it just indicates spot buying is actually propping the price up, not just perps or the open interest. Also, another thing I'd like to show you guys, which I found recently, is as you can see from the last accumulation range when we were just chopping between 50k and 70k, we hit a major resistance point at about 21.7 billion back when we initially hit the 69 to 70k levels. And we actually retested it once we broke out the accumulation range, which was the 21.5 to 22 billion range. So I wouldn't be surprised, and it's looking like we're actually gonna retest that level again. So when it comes to like assuming what like trying to figure out what the next bottoming formation is, just purely based on what the open interest is doing, I wouldn't be surprised we go down to the $22 billion levels, and that's made by extra chopping and ranging from Bitcoin. So I think what needs to be done is ideally more chopping and ranging from Bitcoin, which will wipe out more longs and shorts from the market. So $22 billion is looking like a good number to retest for open interest. And as long as we get there without making new lows, so not breaking the 77k level, it's really bullish to me because it just shows there's less leverage propping up the market, and it's actually spot buying that's propping up the market. Our next tweet is by DecodeJar. So with almost 15 years of data, April is statistically one of Bitcoin's best months, and it has barely begun. So looking at this Bitcoin seasonality, April is the second most bullish month of the year. And on average, we actually hit 35% increase in price. So just purely looking at that and looking at the current existing price, if we were to hit the average, like the April monthly average, which is 35% from the current price, we'd actually be comfortably in all-time highs. So it's looking quite good on seasonality because there's a lot of confluence with the market sentiment where the market sentiment is really bad. We have a lot of leverage getting wiped out, and the general market is bearish on the market where a lot of people are offside, or if they're not offside, they're probably most likely shorting the market. And this is evident by just looking at the liquidation heat map. So as you can see here, there's a lot of liquidation levels above us. There's levels pretty much like once you get to like especially the 95k level, there's millions upon it's more like billions of dollars in liquidations, especially at the 109k level. So just at the 109k level alone, we have $300 million in liquidations. So the general market is pricing in like a very bearish sentiment, even though April is actually seasonally a good month. So it's looking quite good, and it looks like statistics is on our side. So that's just something to keep note. Another tweet from Ungovernable. So his 50-day moving average was at 88.5k, and Bitcoin had a massive rejection. And looking at this, there's actually a lot of confluence because at the 88.5k moving average, so we had a rejection at the moving average as well as the ascending bearish channel we were in the previous week or so, and it was also retesting the weekly downtrend we've been. So when it comes to that, and what I would like to see is ideally what we'd like to see is keeping our lows. So do not make a make a fresh new low. And what happens is we just chop sideways for the remainder of the next 2 weeks, and then break out from the triangle. So sorry, from the downtrend. So I would say like realistically, our deadline to break out is anywhere from like pretty much from 12 days to about 20 days or so, which happens to be in April. So this month will be an indication of what direction Bitcoin will be going for the foreseeable future of this year. And ideally, as long as we hold our lows, hold the weekly RSI, and break out of this downtrend, Bitcoin will be in a leg up from here. And obviously our altcoins as well as dominance will most likely top, because seasonality wise, we're in the latter stages of the bull market. So most likely the dominance will also top out. Before I go to the next part of the video, I'm just going to play our sponsor. If you guys are looking for the fastest trading bot on base chain, EVM chains, as well as Solana support soon, click on the link in the description below. I'll be giving away $1,000 per month to those users that trade and fund their wallets on the Sigma trading bot. It also supports the channel, so it'll be really appreciated if you guys have a look at what the product is, because personally I've been using it because it replaces my DEX needs. And I've actually been using it since March 2024. And the main reasons why I've been using it is, first of all, it's got full mobile and desktop support. So it's on Telegram. It's a bot on Telegram. And because it's on Telegram, it's so much more convenient to make my trades when I'm out and about. As well as multiple features I've been using to make 10 to 100x multiples on new coin deployments. So one of the main features is the auto sniping tool. So what this does is, since Sigma Trading Bot is the fastest bot on base as well as other EVM chains, you're able to snipe new token deployments and be one of the first buyers to new token launches. I've also been using the copy trading tool, which allows me to copy trade profitable wallets and pretty much just copy exactly what they've been doing. But why you guys should be trusting it? Personally, I've been using it since 2024, like March of 2024, and it's got over $3 billion in total volume with integrations and partnerships with other top protocols like Virtuals, which is the #1 AI protocol on base chain. And like, since it's been around for so long and it's got so much volume, it's got a pretty good track record. It's never been hacked, and I've been using it on and off since the deployment, and I've been quite happy with the product. It's developed and evolved a lot over time, and the partnership, in my opinion, was sort of a no-brainer because I personally use it for my own trading needs. And with me partnering with them, I'm actually able to give out $250 to 5 winners every month. So it's sort of a no-brainer to use my link in the description and just to give it a go and give it a try, because I've been using it. I've been quite happy with the tool, and they're actually going to be releasing a new web app that sort of supplements the Telegram app. So obviously, depending on your preference, if you like a web app or a Telegram app, you can give it a go when that releases. And thank you for supporting the channel. We'll go to the next segment in the video. Next up by Superbro is his tariffs announcements tweet. So this tweet was actually made 5 minutes before the tweet. And obviously he was just saying like he expects volatility, which I also expected. And I think everyone could expect that as well. And he wanted to see if 85K would hold. Obviously it didn't. It also didn't hold the 86.3K level either. But something of note that's pretty interesting is the futures actually broke out of the descending wedge on a closing basis. So it just shows to me buyers really want to step in and really want to start taking control. And I think time is running out for the bears, where there's pretty much like no catalyst left for us to potentially go down. I like the worst case scenario for tariffs have just been made. And when it comes to like just finding out what could be worse in this, there really isn't anything like any other catalyst that could push the price down. Like, I guess you could say World War or like aliens invading Earth. Like there really isn't many other catalysts that can potentially happen to make the markets dump. Obviously there's black swans that could happen, but black swans are called black swans for a reason. Like you can't price them in, and they only happen like pretty much like once every like 1 to 2 decades. So we shouldn't even really be counting that in our analysis. And when it comes to just statistics in general and seasonality and looking at market sentiment and what's happening with the open interest leverage, bulls really want to start taking control. And I really think that April will be a squeezing month for Bitcoin, and most likely we actually break out to the upside and at the very least liquidate all the bears that are currently shorting the market. So that's the end of the Bitcoin analysis. When it just comes to a general recap of what's happening, The tariff news, in my opinion, was definitely short-term noise and has not affected the higher time frames. And the catalyst to look forward to for tariffs is countries like South Korea and other European and Asian countries actually deprecating their tariffs, which will in turn reduce the US tariffs to those countries. And the markets have not priced that in yet. And once the markets really start pricing that in, I think that will be the reason and catalyst why we actually break out during April. I just wanted to show you guys a base native meme coin I really like and just do a general update and technical analysis on what's going on with it. So obviously when it comes to Toshi, it's a base native meme coin on base chain, and it's the first base chain native meme coin to get listed on Coinbase. So it's pretty much, in my opinion, the face of base. And if base chain was to go to a full risk on event and coins like the high beta coins of Ethereum start really breaking out, Toshi, in my opinion, will be one of those. So when it comes to that, you guys definitely want to start investing in DCA in tokens that could be due for a market relief bounce and start accumulating at these levels. The reason why I'm looking at Toshi is it's going through two main bullish bottoming formations, and the first one is the bullish divergence. So as you can see, price is making new lower lows, but the RSI is actually making higher lows. And in my opinion, as long as Bitcoin squeezes this month in April, I really think that Toshi will also start breaking out and bottoming from here. Like if I was to draw this up, to be honest, the more I look at it, it actually might end up being a massive cup and handle where we bottom out from here, we make a higher low on the daily RSI. We could make another low in price on Toshi, but Bitcoin starts breaking out and then alts really start going to a risk on event later in the year. And I wouldn't be surprised Toshi is going through this bottoming formation right now. Another reason why I'm also getting quite bullish on Toshi is on the 3-day time frame. I'm not looking at the weekly time frame as the coin isn't old enough for correct weekly data. But for 3-day time frame, I guess technical analysis, as you can see here, the major 3-day RSI support has been around the 40 RSI region, and as you can see, we're actually in a hidden bullish divergence. So every time this RSI of 40 to 41 has been hit, we've actually made a new higher low. So it's looking quite bullish to me, where we're having bottoming formations on two different time frames, and those time frames are actually really high time frame where it's going to affect the coin at a longer term time frame, which is what I like. And it just shows to me, if you were to start DCAing and accumulating a token, Toshi is probably a really good one, as assuming Bitcoin breaks out from here and Ethereum breaks out as well as dominance tops out from here, I think Toshi is in a good spot to get a massive relief bounce from here, just purely based on the fact there's a really strong bullish divergence on both time frames. And when it comes to fundamentals, Toshi is the face of base and is the #1 meme community and coin on base chain. And just something to note, like, I'm not a financial advisor and all of this is not financial advice. So this is just my opinion. I really think that once Ethereum starts breaking out and the base chain ecosystem also starts getting more inflows, Toshi will be one of the bigger runners, as it's already listed on Coinbase, and it's probably going to be the first runner due to a onboarding of massive liquidity coming from the Coinbase central exchange. So that's the end of the video, guys. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys want me to cover other topics or niches. When it comes to my sponsor Sigma Trading Bot, I genuinely use the product and I use it on a weekly basis due to the main features of the copy trading, as well as being the fastest trading bot. So when I like to do just quick flips for different coins on base chain as well as other EVM chains, I use the Sigma Trading Bot, as it's literally the fastest trading tool on those chains. And if you guys are looking for something to replace your central exchange or decentralized exchange needs, like Uniswap, SushiSwap, etc., I would definitely register using the link below, especially because I'm doing a $1,000 giveaway every month. That's all to the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.